Hello everybody, my name's Amelia, and today we'll be testing if you can cook an entire meal with just a lighter. Let's find out together. To start off, we're going to take a wire clothes hanger and some tin foil to make our own miniature pan, because this would not cut it on a regular sized pan. To start off, we're going to take our wire hanger and some tools and try and form this into a frame for our frying pan. We don't need this anymore. I don't know about you, but I think that's a pretty good start to our frying pan. Next, we're going to take the tin foil and make the actual pan part. And there you have it, our makeshift frying pan. I think this will work pretty well. We're going to start with doing some bacon. Take the 2 pieces of bacon, pop them in our pan, and this might take a little while. Boy, did I underestimate just how long this would take. I knew that this would likely take a while, and I thought that I had planned accordingly, setting aside my entire afternoon, but it felt like hours when finally, I think it's starting to work. Not quite. It really was showing no sign of progress. Though I did start to hear a sizzling sound that I wasn't quite sure if it was the bacon frying or just the pan burning. Nothing ended up catching on fire though, so I took it as a good sign and continued as usual. After flipping the bacon just to keep my sanity in check while hoping that something was actually happening, I started getting a bit cold. I didn't quite understand why though. I'd chosen such a lovely 10-degree day upon which to fry bacon with a lighter in the attic of an uninsulated barn. I was cold nonetheless, so I had to find a creative way to drive off the cold. Gotta warm my hands up. It was about as effective as you might imagine. Between the increasing chill in the air and my diminishing hopes of creating a lovely meal, I think I ended up going through the 5 stages of grief over my cooking endeavors. It's warm. As futile as my efforts may have felt, however, I was not giving up. My limbs may freeze and my sanity may leave me entirely, but this bacon would cook, by golly, whether it wanted to or not. Maybe it was the cold, the goat screaming, or the bacon fumes I may or may not have been imagining, but I finally made a decision that would benefit my endeavor to no avail. It's a little chilly out here. Let's move someplace a bit warmer. Much better. Now we can get back to frying some bacon. This decision worked out incredibly well. I could finally start to feel my fingers again. At this point, the bacon seemed pretty similar to how it was when we started, but with a warmer atmosphere and a spark of hope, I knew my bacon would start to cook. And boy did it. It started cooking in such a way as I had been dreaming of for the past hour. I could see bacon grease bubbling and saw the bacon itself browning and knew that we were close. At any point, I could take it all off and consider it cooked. This piece of bacon looks pretty well cooked. Let's set that one to the side. Well, part of it anyway. Crazy thing, who would have guessed that handmade tinfoil pans wouldn't have the greatest heat distribution? Not me! But once this piece was finished, we could finally be done with the bacon. That bacon looks pretty good to me. Our pan isn't looking so hot. We might have to replace this before we cook our egg. Time to do this again. There we go. Time to cook our egg. There we go. Yeah, we're just going to pretend that I was able to successfully crack that egg the first try. After cooking the bacon, I felt like I was a pro. If the bacon had taken an hour and a half to cook, surely the egg would take only 15 to 20 minutes. Surely an egg wouldn't take a very long time to cook. Surely. Welp, I was wrong once again. The singular egg took me an entire hour to cook. At least this time I could watch the progress happening. The egg white would turn opaque and start to steam. or smoke, not entirely certain which, and then I could move on to the next section, until finally it was over. Just like that, I think our egg is done. The only question is, how do I get it out? Delicious. There you have it. I guess you can cook an entire meal using just a lighter. Turned out pretty well too. I might make all my meals this way. This is the point in the video where I ask you to like and subscribe so that I can spend another 2.5 hours cooking something random. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.